Hey everyone, in this video I'll explain the variables. So first thing first, if I just type var and then x and then for example equal to 10 and then semicolon. So this is the simplest line you can write. This bar is a keyword in the Dart programming language used to identify the variable. So if you want to define a variable, you can use the var keyword. And then this x is the name of the variable. You can name it anything. For example, y or z, or for example, Hassan. You can name it anything. But it is preferable that the names of the variables indicate their content. So this is just virtual examples. And this equal to 10 is the initial value of the variable. So initially, this x contains the value of 10. So if I want to print the x or the value of the x, as you can see, the value of x is 10. Also, if I want to print x equal to, as you can see, x equal to, and then in the second line the value of the x is 10. But as I mentioned in the former lesson, if I want to print x equal to the value of the x in the same line, I use the dollar sign. So you can use the dollar sign and then the value of the x. Delete this line and type run. So x equal to 10. Here the curly braces is not mandatory. We must use a curly braces only when there is more than one character. So for example, if I want to print x plus 5, if I type run, as you can see, x equal to 15. So x, which is 10, plus 5 equal to 15. You can't use this x plus 5 without curly braces. So if I type run now, as you can see, x equal to 10 plus 5. So he give me the value of the x, and then this plus 5 considered as text or string. This is the first type of the variable. So this type is called integer. The integer used to define a natural number. So you can explicitly identify the type of the variable. So for example, I can use integer. int mean integer. But he gave me a hint that it's preferable to use var instead of explicitly identify the type of the variable. So this is the first type. The second type is double. So for example, double y equal to 10.5 and then semicolon. In the same way, I can print y equal to the value of the y. So y equal to 10.5. So double used to define a fractional number. Also, another type is a string. So for example, string str equal to Hassan and then semicolon. In the same way, str equal to the value of str. So for example, str equal to Hassan. So the string used to define a text. Another type is boolean. So bool mean boolean. So for example, boolean f equal to either true or false. So boolean is a logical value. In the same way, I can, for example, f equal to the value of the f. So f equal to false. So this f can contain only false or true. So it is a logical value. Also, all these are variables. So as the name said, it is a variable. We can change its value later. So for example, this x equal to 10, in another line in the project, I can change it, for example, to 5. and then semicolon. So here we just give the initial value to this variable, and here we change this value. So the final value, the last value for the x is equal to 5. So if I print x equal to the value of x, he give me x equal to 5, the last value. But also I can change the value of the variable y. So for example, y equal to 0.5 and then semicolon. So the new value of the y is 0.5. But I can use final and const keyword. So final keyword, it means that this variable has a final value. So this 10 is not just initial value, it is a final value. So you can change it. So he give me an error in this line. You can read the message of the error. The final variable x can only be set once. Also, another keyword you can use is the const. Const mean constant. So this y contain 10.5, which is a constant value. So now you can change the value of the y variable. You can read this message: constant value can't be assigned a value. So you can either remove this line or remove the modifier const. The difference between the final and const, we will explain it later in detail in a separated lesson. Also, for example, if I want to define a variable called a, which is an integer, so for example equal to 5, and then another variable which name is s equal to 8. So as you can see, if I want to define 10 variable, there's an easier way. So for example, I can simply define these two variables in just a single line and separating them by a comma. So var a equal to 5 and then var s equal to 8, and at the end we should write the semicolon. So this whole line is just a single line.